So not everybody knows their God right now. So we got fractal in the spirit, souls. So everyone, right now is your life review. You're having your NDE right now, and you've arrived. So there was called grounding, being still, knowing that I am God, the earth element. As you're being still, and you're sinking in within. So we'll start off here on the law was given to Moses, and grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. And the law, there's 613 ordinances of the law. And 248 of these ordinances are of the sinews, the bones, and of the organs. So it's going to stream into you an amazing flow here. And 365 are about the solar years. And as above, so below, as the macro, so is the micro, the microcosms. And everybody's a mirror right now, reflecting in and out, left and right. Everyone's a reflection of your inner conversations, and there's no one here but you. Right? We're all reflecting. So I'm going to start off like this, as we're discerning the Lord's body, just like Solomon was asking God for a hearing heart to govern the people, to judge the people. And wisdom was given. The first thing he did was observe. He got into the Lebanon cedar tree, and he was observing the ants, observing the space, the sky, and he's seeing what's going on within as he's looking at all the animals. So it says, for this one particular reason, for not discerning the Lord's body, which is every electromagnetic, many fall weak, sick, and die. So by one cellular molecule's offense or separation judgment, many of them have lived in illusions. Many of them have missed the mark of their goal, which is oneness, of course, righteousness by faith and right standing. So to discern the Lord's body, to honor everybody, is to see the reflection in each every one. And I'm going to use this with observation today. Actually be a good example with you, Derek. As you went outside, he said if you want to come up here, it'd be good so everybody can see as well. When you went outside and you were observing and you were discerning the Lord's body with the tree, for example, you want to share with them what you're experiencing with the wind. It says the people of the kingdom are like the wind. And what that was like, actually seeing the Bible verses be done through experience and then relating the revelation with the word. Yep.
Absolutely. So it says that, we are to speak, and a thing shall be established by the word that we're decreeing. And so an amazing thing that was happening is he was, by the understanding and revelation of who he is established here on the earth, was manifesting the power of the wind around him and moving the physical matter.
And and you noticed a difference with control and everything else, of self-control. So it says all of creation is eagerly waiting for the manifestations of the mature children of God, for the responses of observation. So we just were observing, looking, making it natural and like nothing being ourselves. And observation equals activation. And that's very important. This is how we receive immortality. For this one reason, not discerning, not observing, the way and the manner that we eat of the Lord's body, we meditate, we think. We're eating out of the tree of knowledge and good and evil, and we're discerning with, did you hear what he said? Gossip, Proverbs 18:8, a gossiper receives ulcers in the solar plex. So the body's showing symptoms of what's going on in the micro and the macro, of what we're reflecting outward, and that's one of the 613 ordinances, 248 are of this, so it's showing what's going on in the anatomy as reflections. And it says if the mind is governed by the egotistic nature of the five physical senses, then you would deteriorate. So without observation, and we're adding judgment and separating ourselves, look at this tree, look at this ant, and we're titling and naming them things and giving them identities like that. We're cutting ourselves off, like he was saying earlier. If we identify God, even when he's saying he, as him, what about her? What about Lil Wayne? He's a main point anything. We start having this language, like the English language is very, with the subconscious mind, the way the tongue hits certain directions, with the certain words like good morning or wake up, and what the words actually mean, speaking of a funeral and morning death.
Yeah.
How we're keeping ourselves locked in the matrix with curriculum of quantum physics and curriculum of mathematics, where we're not understanding the Fibonacci or the flower of life and the root of all things, going to the source and the origin. We're having backwards information and living a life in patterns and in circles like this. After we ground ourselves, and as he was mentioning earlier, the baptism of Jesus, it's the same thing with reading all over the Bible left and right. Then it's the same thing with his disciples after he blew on them. And they received the awareness of the being that dwells within them. the absolute eternal being. He says, don't leave the city of Jerusalem, don't leave the upper room, because the Roman soldiers, or whatever are going on out here, these cars can murk us. We can get hit by the next cancer. We're still prone to the things of this world with our illusioned mind, our separation. So he's saying, tarry and wait till the Spirit comes upon you and do you with power. That's the same thing of body positions, how we position ourselves in life and how we're observing the way in the manner that we just with the eyes, of course. It says don't judge with the eyes or with the ears, but it's done internally with the internal senses, which righteousness is to exercise your spiritual senses to discern between what's functional and dysfunctional. So this is an exercising of discipline that we do. So as Peter and Mary Madeline are up in the upper room doing Holy Communion, this is Simon. Remember Simon is in terms of Peter. That's Simon is the listening ear. So that's disciplining the cranial nerve, and then it becomes stone or rock where it becomes immovable. And his job was to guard the house. So Peter's job is to guard the consciousness, become immovable in your listening ear. So when someone's saying, Angel Maria, let's go to bed, you know I'm tired, he hears, baby, keep going, I can't wait for you to preach. He revives. The ego when you watch them in the Bible and you see them in the movies, right? Yeah. So, as you were mentioning, like the moanings and the groaning cries of how consciousness is with prayer. Consciousness is assuming the wish fulfilled or the desired state of consciousness you wish to experience. So there's a quote by Neville Goddard that says, if you pray to a God for riches and you're conscious of poverty, you're going to get that which you're rewarded of being, which is broke, right? So when we have body positions like this, and we're praying and we're receiving, and this is like Psalms chapter 1, verse 1 through 3, you become like a tree firmly planted, and out of you is going to bear good fruit in every good season, pretty much. And at the lady at the well, the same thing, the eternal life, the eternal water. He says, one day, woman, you're going to worship the Father in the Spirit. It's going to come out of you like the water. This is the Spirit coming upon them and doing them with power, just like Jesus was saying. The Spirit's upon me to preach the good news, set the captives free, and all the rest. So right now we are the church, which means governmentality, government of unconditioned consciousness, the governmentality of God. Are you listening, church? St. Joseph Prince. So when we position ourselves in these type of movements, then this is actually how power is coming upon us. When the pelvis is turned forward and our body's rocking, like when we're praying for the guy earlier in the room, and we see this all the time. We're becoming as loose as water. It's like a water baptism, and then you start to see the fire come upon and the sweat. And then he feels, I feel so light, and then you get the air, and then the breathing of the lungs, the air, and how everything's all articulating. But all with the elements, you're pretty much emptying yourself and being straight up unconditional love on a moment-to-moment basis. Like we said, you and I won't see anybody doing that at all, because they'll break the matrix, they'll have the rainbow body or the body like Christ, they'll have hair white like wool, they'll have eyes like fire. We see the glimpses here. Wow. And that's what communion is, observing and honoring and identifying as one another. And your neurons become my neurons, how that's working there. Wow. Like Alec has strong calves, and sometimes mine's get a little tired and burning when I'm on a run, so I honor him and his calves, and I eat off of him, and I identify with him. Yeah. So I go to sleep. It starts to happen, and miracles do operate like that left and right, because we are miracles. And I am Alec. And I am Martin. But the message is simple as being a child in the kingdom, and you are the elements. All the elements are all up in your body. So whenever you're working with any type of whatever you want to distinguish as something, like for example the water element, when you're working in your dreams and you're in a drowsy state, you can work on it like that. Like water's in the kidneys, and kidneys, they can hold fear. So when we do the opposite, it says that the Lord tests your heart and your kidneys for the instructions, because that's where assignments are obviously getting placed. There's information there. In Chinese medicine, they call them thrones. And in the Bible, it talks about the thrones of the air, the principalities and all the rest, how everything needs to be balanced and harmonized. And it says to fulfill the law, the 613 ordinances, which we came to do, right? Jesus came to fulfill the law. You came to fulfill the law, that being within you came to fulfill the law. And Galatians 15:14, it says, and the law is summed up in one, unconditional love. Love every electromagnetic. Neighbor is electromagnetic. Love neighbor as self. So, It says, don't be justified by the law, Galatians 5:4, or you'll be cut off from grace, alienated from Christ. And when we justify ourselves from the law would be, I'm not going to gossip today. No man or woman can tame the tongue. And now we're being justified by these universal laws of trying to be righteous by works instead of by faith.
Come on.
You know, when it's simply to love. And then God consigned all men and women to disobedience. Right? The subconscious mind does not understand the difference between thou shalt not. That's why Eve's eating the fruit. You know, we can see it in that perspective or aspect as well. More Lord. but even as everybody's listening, be like a child in the kingdom. You're actually in my body. You know, as elements. It takes one electron to turn lead into gold. And an electron can be sped up when I snap my finger with sound, wave, and light, and with intention behind it. Electrons are getting sped up and they're shooting out as orbs, and whoever's receiving it. You can see it on your camera phone. I just did a video footage. You've seen it too. Recording the guy Steven, and there was waves all over the phone. And you can start to see it, and you can see him in the room. Yeah. And you can feel it in the air and identify what's going on in the human body, where you can feel there's something going on here, there. And then you do it with your eyes. And presenting yourself as a living sacrifice and being sensitive for everyone's needs. And this is what it is, you know, this is discerning the Lord's body, what's going on as a reflection, as we're walking through. When someone has an issue that we think is not related to us, it actually is allegorical, symbolical, or metaphysical with the water element. It interprets as lucid dreaming when we start working in the drowsy state, because they ask Jesus, how do you pray? They're just seeing all the miracles get done. He told them, stay up. And he comes back and you keep on sleeping. Stay between the theta and the delta, and when you're, you know what it is, when you're drowsy.
Watch and pray.
That's right. And when you write the vision down, or whatever it is that you're imagining, you can work on the water elements like that in the body, because water also represents Moses, thought to be born out of water. The law was given to Moses. The moment you come into your mother's womb, as we chose to come in here, and you're choosing on your life and the government of this world and everything else, the 613 ordinances of universal laws, everything's all programmed on us, and we're unwinding the DNA and unlearning and emptying ourselves out as the yin and yang, emptying the cup out. So we come, Moses, like the thought into water, a cup of water. And our job here is to empty that cup out and not try to say, I'm not going to do this today, I'm not going to do this droplet today. We take dust on our feet daily, and your feet is the foundation of your thought life. He says, Mary, one thing is needful. Stop going around the kitchen trying to make some plates. Come to my feet, the foundation of the thought life. Philippians 4:8. Meditate on thoughts that are pure, noble, just, good report.
Beautiful.
The things that Christ taught you, the anointing within you. And it really is that simple. When anybody asks me how you do this or how do you do that, it's the Nike, Nico, you know, just do it. If you see somebody do it, there's impartation left and right. The last will be first. So how I learned was you know, believing that I could do anything. I was always bold and watching a bunch of videos, and I go out and do it, and if it didn't work the first day, I prepare and meditate and use my imagination, creates the reality, exercise my spiritual senses, and I'm starting to have the creation respond to me and seeing all the stuff in the Word here, all the mechanics, and the awe and the wonder is my favorite relationship with my higher self, is the awe and the wonder moments when I'm going within and I'm experiencing let's see, you know how you close your eyes, you start to see like mosaic type of patterns and waves. Yeah. That's because when you're observing, you can see it now, everybody can actually get into the waves, and this is how miracles happen. And here's a more intentional way. If everyone looks like I'm looking this way with my awareness, but I'm really looking straight, and I'm looking this way, then the subconscious mind, right? Right here's beta, we're focusing, and when I'm here, I'm going to my subconscious now. And then I'm going into a gaze, and then the waves will start to come. And then watch, if everyone's doing it with me, then you start to see angel lights or orbs that shoot by. No? And then once you have, that means the photon orb information is writing on the waves, on the light here. And with that, that's the spot for miracles, because once the wave collapses, whenever we observe something, the waning matter that we eat in the body, we fall weak, sick, and die, we collapse spiritual shenanigans or miracles. So when someone's telling me their issue, their problem, I have this type of disease, even though I'm not a doctor, I don't know what to talk about, none of this stuff means, I am maintaining my observation and unconditional love, being unconditional in all those moments. And working on pretty much not judging and not trying to change. I'm also aware of my body, what's my body telling me, because it's also a mirror as well. They had a good talk yesterday about, remember, don't change the shoulders, don't try to change anything, just because that's judgment. So, and Genesis 6:8, Noah found rest in the eyes of the Lord, and Noah's rest. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, the law first mentioned, right? And Noah means rest, and the root word of rest is deep breathing, and when you deep breathe, you receive grace. You go from beta to alpha state, and you can keep kicking it back into deeper trances. And the best spot, in my opinion, to hang out with your higher self is in your dreams. The best place to hang out with God is in your dreams. It's a very powerful spot. And then you can take these encounters physical. Where now I can have angels come down, literally, physically, where everybody can see it, and they'll blast in front of you, and you get all kind of download and impartation and revelation from it, and it's opening people's mind when you do something right on the spot, how you can change someone that says, I'm an unbeliever, even though those are quote-unquote words, and I have like telekinesis here or something, right? I'm like, so you believe that your thoughts are not currents in the air that can influence your environment, and then all of a sudden they're observing and they're seeing reactions and they're controlled. When they're letting go of the illusions. Let's see what else comes here. Alright, so we just put some gemstones, and everyone's going to have this impartation that they could take home, where they'll be able to do it on one-on-one people in the streets. So that's what really needs to be done, is I believe I've exercised a lot of gifts on one-on-one with people, one-on-one mirror. And this is what I want everyone to take home as well. At any given time, take my word for it, it will happen. Obviously, the gold dust is very common. If you check your hands now, you already have them. You can see my confidence and my faith in that you don't even need the faith for it, because you are faith. And also, now we're just going to move on to gemstones. There's no difference between cancer and a headache, right? The being that dwells within you is the being that dwells within you. So, God is God, right? No matter what the difference is. So be aware, be sensitive, and see. You might see something fly in the corner of your eye, on your foot. That's it. And the more you look, the more you see. And we're here soon, but let's get some specific areas and some patterns of individuals as well with the elements. You can see what area in our life where you're bringing up on vitamins and minerals, about elements that we're lacking in the body. You know. And he was like, I think I know.
I'm tough. I'm trained out, dude. I know. Your job is to experience it and drink it.
Yoda, pretty much, huh? The Star Wars Yoda? Experiential wisdom in Hebrew. So everyone close your eyes and take three deep breaths and say, the absolute eternal being possess me.
Absolute eternal being possess me.
Fill me.
Fill me.
There you go. It's happening now. So as I blow on you, you know what it is.
Baby.
More and more. We bet. From the crown of your uterus to the tip of your ovaries, from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet. Joy. That's it.
Give me a happy uterus.
Take it. Embrace it.
Happy little fetus.
May seem like polarization, oxymoron, or something against the norm, and that shows growth. Like working out, your muscles start to get sore, the brain starts to exercise and change and defend itself with some of the words that I'm saying. But drink it up. This is 100 proof. That's the word for it. If you're standing up, you'll be a vegan and you'll fall on your asparagus. Drink it up. I'm not a nurse, but y'all taking shots. One more. Y'all don't need a dictionary to pre-comprehend what I'm saying. Just believe it. You're an intelligent church. Say I'm an intelligent church. Look at Derek giggling over there blushing. Look at Trusika blushing. So, receive it, guys. We know that you're blessed, and we're here to honor our brother Andrew.
Oh my God.
Wow. How you gonna beat that?
Always on the hustle.
Gotta get me drunk. I ain't even 21 yet.
Exactly. This is so much unbelievable. Wow, fun. I love seeing you all.
Said laughter is medicine to the bone, so to the body. The word is life and health to all your flesh. So the word is laughter. A cosmic joke.
Bye, bye. Look what I did to myself. And you?
Wow.
I did this to myself. You said.
Oh my God.
Cheers.
That was just the top of the list.
Oh.
Maybe things move in your body during that message, but don't try to change it or fix it. Just observe it.
Oh my God.